Hi, my name is Steve Halasnik. I'm president of healthcareseeker.com. I'm sitting with Christina Verducci, who's one of our senior recruiters. And of course, we'd like to welcome you again to Travel Nurse News. Chris, let's just start off by talking a little bit about what's going on in the industry right now. What are you seeing?
As far as what's going on in the industry right now, I'm seeing that there's more jobs. And there's not as many nurses traveling as there were, but there's more jobs becoming available.
Okay. So same time this year, last year, same time in March of last year. Different?
Yeah. I think there's more jobs this year than there was last year. Yeah.
Statistically, definitely there's more jobs.
It feels like there are more.
Okay.
I felt like last year we were kind of pulling teeth to get jobs.
Okay.
And it's not been as bad this
right.
year.
But it has been surprising to us that there's not as many jobs as we would have hoped for.
No, because it's not going to just all of a sudden randomly, millions of jobs just come open. It's going to be a slow build, but there's definitely, I would say definitely more than last year.
Right. Now what I've seen is we've gotten a number of jobs, especially actually the past week, but we've gotten a number of jobs, and yet how many times are we hearing now that travelers are not looking to travel? People who've either traveled before in the past, they're kind of hunkering down.
Yeah.
And so it's been a little bit surprising because we're getting more jobs, and yet we're having to have a hard time getting people.
Well, I don't know how surprising it is. Oh. Just because, I mean, if nurses need to make money,
right? Everybody
needs to make a living. So, I mean, if you're going to not have jobs for a while, then nurses have to figure out where the jobs are, and they have to take them. So, people going back to work perm, or people deciding to go back to school to get their BSN, or I've seen people go back for their family nurse practitioner, or looking at other avenues. It's, that's what's creating, a lack of nurses. People have, changed exactly what they've been doing.
So, I mean, the topic that we kind of wanted to cover today, I think, was the why should people be traveling right now, and should they? But why should they be traveling right now? So let me ask you this: are the travelers that you've placed in the last 3 months, what percentage of those travelers that you've placed on the 13-week assignment have renewed or have renewal offers on their existing assignment they were on?
I would say at least 3/4.
So 75% of the existing travelers were asked to stay on again for another on it.
And I mean, the nurses may or may not decide to want to stay there, but yeah, definitely offers on the table to renew.
Okay.
Sometimes 13 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks. I mean, it's been varying. The lengths of the assignments have been a little different, but yeah.
Have you had many travelers call you and ask you if? Have you had many travelers call you and say they can't find anything for their next assignment?
Well, I think everybody's at first, saying, well, I'm looking for my next assignment, and everybody's, a little bit in panicky mode. But I don't think I've had anybody say, oh, I can't find anything. There's nothing out there. It's not like it was. It's not like where people are just, looking, and don't know what to do. It's not like that anymore. People are taking jobs. Now, I mean, it depends on the person, too. If a person's only looking for, a certain area of Iowa or a certain area of Indiana, well, you're not going to find a job, a travel job. It's that you can't be very exclusive on your location. If you're open to pretty much going wherever, you're going to find a job. If you're open to half of the country, you're going to find a job. It's when you get particular about a certain state or a certain area or certain things, or I wouldn't say shift, because I mean people work either day shift or night shift. Some people do either or, don't care, but there's a lot of people that can't do nights. There's a lot of people that won't do days. Yeah. So it's not usually a picky thing. That I wouldn't consider that being picky. I would say if you need within 50 miles of a certain city, well, that's not really travel.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be. That's gonna be very difficult to find. You're still gonna have issues.
Yeah. So, travelers that you've been speaking. Well, let's talk a little bit about why does someone travel? I mean, we often hear it's a no-brainer that the money is one issue. People travel because they make more money. The second reason is because they want to go to this location for some reason. They want to see a part of the country, or they have family members or a friend in that area. But one of the things that I certainly see is that a lot of travelers who travel because they get an opportunity to be the nurse they want to be. In other words, they want to work closely with the patient. They don't want to have to deal with politics. They don't want to have to go to meetings. Do you find that the nurses that you are working with have said that to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, people don't want to deal with politics. I think you always have to go to certain meetings and certain things. But yeah, I mean, there are less politics in traveling because you're there for 3 months and then you can leave if you want. Or you're there for 8 weeks and you can leave if you want. I think that it's a quality of life issue for more than just your work life. I think it's a quality of life to be able to see things you haven't seen before, both clinically but also outside, looking out your window and going out and doing different things, seeing different things, sightseeing. I've actually been seeing the travelers that I've been working with, a lot of them are, maybe it's the time of year too, because it usually is more spring, summer, that people are sightsee. I want to sightsee, or I want to see this, or I want to see that, when when they're telling me where they want to go. But it's when you want to travel, yeah, money's great. And yeah, you need to get paid, but I think, and I always have thought that travel nursing is just the ideal job for a nurse. To be able to go, and I love to travel personally. I love to see new things. I love to meet new people. So for me, if I was a nurse, that would be the kind of nurse I'd want to be. I would want to be going and seeing everything I could and experiencing different work environments, at hospitals, but just seeing all the places I always wanted to go see.
Well, it's great. It's obvious to me why you love your job.
Yeah, I get excited for my nurses, and I think that when I first started here, I didn't travel very much. I hadn't been many places. I was younger, but now, because of all the cool things I hear about from my nurses, it makes me want to go see things. It makes me want to go to different places. And since I've worked here, I have done that. I have seen different parts of the country. I've seen different parts of the world. So I think
cool.
That's
cool. And then the other thing that's not very promotional here, because that's not the intent of this.
No.
But we are giving $1,000 sign-on bonus for any new nurse that hasn't worked with us in the last 3 months. So if you're looking to travel right now, please consider us, and if you have a friend, because we're having $1,000 sign-on bonus, and until April 30th.
Yeah, well, we still have referral bonuses. We always will have referral bonuses, so please send us friends.
Yeah, $3,000 for up to $3,000 for a referral bonus if you refer someone who places us. So
or we place, but
yeah, we place. You got it. So again, please think of that. Okay, so we'll talk to you next time. And for Steve Halasnik and Christina Verducci, just consider traveling.